Assalamu alaikum, all my muzzies, and welcome to the Creature Creator Beginner's Guide. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. This video is going to be kind of a standalone video because it's been something I've been working on for a couple days, and I just wanted to go over a couple of things here. So, Creature Creator is part of Final Fantasy X2. I'm playing this on the HD PS4 version, so a couple of things that go along with that is you can get the Mascot Dressphere by participating in one of the tournaments that you can access via the Creature Creator. So, this is going to be a beginner's guide on how to get started with the Creature Creator. I think it's a good thing to use, and to be honest with you, I got really addicted to it and have been using it. Basically, I'm going to use this to play the rest of the game. So this guide is going to be for lower levels. So if you are, let me put it this way, not levels, chapters. So I am currently at the beginning of chapter 3. This method and what I'm going to go over will be equivalent for the beginning of level 3 and under. So everything that I show you here can be accessed at any time. So if you're starting at the beginning, you're having difficulties, this is what you're going to have to do. And unfortunately with Creature Creator, this is not something that's a long process. It's something that does take time. You're going to have to do a lot of grinding, but you can get, if you're wanting to get that Mascot Dressphere before chapter 5, this is the way to do it. So, again, this method can be used at any time as soon as the Creature Creator is accessible. So the creatures that I obtain and use through this can be, you can get these creatures at any time. So let's go ahead and get talking about the basics. If you're here, you probably already know the basics. So the first thing that I want to go over is, let's go ahead and go into develop creature really quick. So I want to show you the current creatures I have, but I actually want to go into creatures here. So these are all my creatures that I currently have in stock. Now these are a must, but as a starting party, I recommend Chocobo, Tonberry, and Red Elemental for the lower stages. When I initially started, I was at level 30. As you see, the ones that I'm using now are well beyond that. Anyways, for your first, if you're starting at the lower levels, Chocobo, Tonberry, and Red Elemental are your starters. So, you can do whatever you want with those, but our main thing here is what we're getting prepared for is, of course, tournaments. So this is what I have so far. So you start out with standard cup and you go all the way down until you get, to the final cups. So standard cup hard, and grand cup arcade. There's nothing special you need to do. Just have a basic party. If you're starting at the lower levels, you probably need to do a little bit of grinding. At, like I said, level 30, these three were pretty easy. And if you find yourself having issues and you want to try to grind a little bit, go into Battle Simulator, which you can use to grind here, and you're gonna go and you need to unlock, where is it? Black Chandelier. Black Chandelier will give you a decent amount of XP when you're at the lower levels. Now, when you get to Grand Cup Hard, you need to unlock the team called Hell Breeders. They give you about 2,500 XP every round, so that's actually a lot. This is going to be the main team that you'll use on here, or that I used on here to level my party fairly quickly. So Hell Breeders, I will say, is actually pretty, I wouldn't say it's difficult, it's just you have to fight them in the actual tournament. You don't have to win, but you just have to fight them to unlock this arrangement. Now, these guys actually were pretty tough to fight against because they're lower level. They usually get kicked out first round, so usually if you don't get them in first round, you'll just keep playing until you get them. Eventually you will get them, but sometimes it might take a minute. But with that being said, the first thing that we actually need to do, or you need to do, is go back into your creature creator, this main page here, and you need to trap a creature called Killer Hound. I think that's what it's called. The little wolf creature. You need to get that. Which this, okay, let's step back a little bit here, because I think I'm getting a little ahead of myself. So Killer Hound, you need to catch that creature because, here, we'll go into here. This works better when I have some representation. So, here we are. Killer Hound, yes. So, we need to catch him because he's going to be en route to get something, a particular item that we need. Let's go back and I will show you that said item. So we're getting this item here called Adamantite. Basically, this is gonna give you defense up, magic defense up, as well as HP and a bunch of others. It's just a really good item that you will be required to have with this guy. And then also, hold on, let me show you guys something else here. Should have showed you that while I was in here. You also, once you play through up to Grand Cup Hard, you're gonna get the abominable Dressphere. which has the ribbon effect. So this is also a must. So the next thing that we're going to go over is the fact that when you get to the tournament phase of this, and you get to the Grand Cup hard, you're going to realize that it's not, there's certain monsters on here that are particularly hard. So for example, you will have Shady Duo and the Mega Tonberry guy, or whatever his name is. You know who I'm talking about if you played this. The problem with these is they are put there so it's very difficult for you to get these at later stages. So you do have to, we're gonna have to grind. So I recommend for this part to, as I said in the beginning, that this particular guide that I'm going to show you is not a quick guide. It's a guide that I have tested. It works, but it's going to take a while, and unfortunately it is what it is. But I can guarantee if you follow the steps that I'm telling you here, you will be able to beat Grand Cup hard 6 total times. Now, once you beat Grand Cup hard 3 times, it's gonna unlock the Shady Duo and the Tonberry King, which at this point you can use whatever team you want up until that point, because once you get to that point, you cannot use a regular team to fight these battles. I don't know how to do it at being a low level, because when I first came into here, I want to show you this. Here is my YRP, which is Riku. I just want you to see, don't look at the mascot thing, that's irrelevant. Since I've already gotten the mascot, it's pointless. But these are the levels that I was at when I started, okay? So when you are catching your fiends, they're gonna be similar level. So what I recommend doing is, as you see, I'm going to go through both of these, but to be honest with you, add this, the Adamantite or whatever, Adamantite, I think that's what you say, I don't know. The point I'm trying to make here is you need something that can withstand a lot of attacks, has high health, also does decent amount of damage, but just be able to withstand the attacks of Shady Duo, as well as not be completely insta-killed by the Tonberry. The big Tonberry thing. What, I don't know why, I can't remember what his name is, but that's irrelevant, we'll look at that later. But so you're gonna have 2 large beasts here. These are the 2 that have the best overall stats for what we're looking to do here. Now, the one that worked for me, where I was just winning back to back, was Shell Shocker. So my guaranteed level here, I think I might have got him a little bit around 34 or lower, but in the 30s. You need a Shell Shocker that's in the level 30 or higher. It should look a little like this. Now, the other thing is, okay, let's go into creature. I should have did that. Let's go ahead and look at Shell Shocker here. So Shell Shocker, this is what needs to be applied to Shell Shocker. I have attack, darkness, vigor, strength up, and fire gun. Strength up, I believe, already comes with Shell Shocker. I don't remember if I added that on or not. But irregardless of that, I have fire gun because I want to have. You want to have. You see, he has a very high magic stat, and we would like to have some type of magic just in case, because a lot of the bosses or something you might fight, eventually you're gonna run out of MP. So I mean, I guess you could up his MP and just use a bunch of fire attacks. That could work too, but I decided to go the other route of just using darkness instead of spamming spells. So here's the thing with this. You need to have the two things that you need to have on there are going to be, hold on, Shell Shocker. What is it? What do I have equipped to Shell Shocker? Okay, going to Shell Shocker. So I added Fire Gun on, but you can add on Crimson Ring for this, but you also have to do Adamantite on this as well. Those will be your two accessories, or you can do another accessory. Just make sure you have something on here other than attack. You need attack, you need vigor, and you need darkness. No, you need all of these. So make sure you have those. And that should put you well over, because if you do not have, you have to be continuously healing for the method that I'm going to show you here. Well, I'm not going to show you. I'm going to tell you how to do it. Tonberry the Ripper. Oh, that's what it's called. Okay. So, Mega Tonberry. Is this guy right here, along with Shady Duo. Now, I guarantee you, using Shell Shocker 30 or higher, you will defeat these two teams. But let me fair warning you with these, is these battles will not be quick, because both of these both of those teams have a good, have pretty decent stats, so it's going to be hard to do a lot of damage. So if you can equip something onto Shell Shocker that can do a lot of damage, because you'll see also Shell Shocker is very slow, but I was able to, one time I did with, I did have, because originally I was using Adamantite, and I was able to win one round, but that was because, or I was able to win the tournament a fourth time, but it's only because Tonberry and Shady Duo had been knocked out in the earlier rounds. I don't know how, but they were, so I was able to win with this. That rarely happens. Let me tell you, it rarely happens. You have a better chance of going with Shell Shocker and just sitting through. It would probably take less time to sit through, because Shell Shocker is really slow. On top of that, you have that anyways, yes, so how to get Adamantite. There's two ways that I know of. One way is to get finish the Killer Hound Fiend story guide, which what I mean by that is you're gonna go through. Let's go back here. You're gonna go through and do the creature story for Killer Hound. Let's go in here because I'll show you. It's easier to say it this way. Okay, so again, you get Killer Hound. Okay, you get Killer Hound. You go through, you level him up 5 times, and then you release him. That ends his story. After that, it will tell you to go to Xanarkin and get the YSLS 0. Repeat, level up 5 times and release. And then the last one, again, you got it. You will get the Machina Panzer, which will be in the Thunder Plains. And when you go to the story, the stories will tell you you have to do not skip the story on the Machina Panzer. You need to watch the story, and you will at the end of the Machina Panzer story, which again you have to level up 5 times. You'll watch the story, and at the end of the story, you will get an Adamantite. Now, I'm not sure if this can be done multiple times. That I'm not sure of. This guide, I'm only using 1 Adamantite. Now, you can get another one by getting, I believe, 2800 in the shooting game you played earlier with Yuna. But you have to score 2800 in that shooter game. I don't know why right now I can't think of, anything. I think my mind is just so burnt out on playing this because I've literally been sitting on this Creature Creator nonstop for like 3 days now, so anyways, so back on track here. Once you do that, get your Shell Shocker, run them through a couple times, see if there's anything you need to change, but other than that, you should have enough defense and offense to take out not only Tonberry King, but also Shady Duo. And we'll say with ease, because it's a very slow process, but it was the only way that I could personally get my wins in that. So this particular process for the Shell Shocker only works for Ground Cup hard. Now I'm gonna show you how to easily beat Chocobo Cup and Youth League tournament one time. The next team that you're gonna acquire, if you haven't guessed it by now, is going to be Chocobo, Black Python, and Machina Hunter. Now, I picked these three is number 1. I'll show you Chocobo here. My Chocobo has pretty decent this is the setup you want to have. Now, there are 2 things with this setup. This is the setup you want to have when you're leveling your Chocobo. When your Chocobo is fighting, I recommend taking off Regal Crown and adding on Minerva's Plate. This will pump up the magic, which my Chocobo, as you see, is a magic-based Chocobo, and on top of that, Minerva's Plate will also give your Chocobo Nitro Black Magic and Flare, which of course, as you know, is a very strong whatchamacallit. So, as far as learning this next step, so this is where the grinding comes in, because I'm not sure exactly what level you have to be at to actually defeat or win on the youth league. But as you see, this is the level that I was at when I first beat the youth league tournament. But let me go over a couple things here. So for my Chocobo, I originally had on, this is my setup for my spirit guide. It doesn't really matter what you have here, but I at least have, I had black magic where Mascot used to be, but so I had, the main ones you want to have on your spirit grid is Dark Knight and Psychic, as you see, which Psychic you would have gotten from originally defeating the first couple tournaments here. So the biggest thing that I'd also recommend here is I had on Psychic, which helps boost the magic stats but doesn't drop your HP. So as you see, it's the same as that. Though your defense may drop a little, it's well worth it because you won't be, I don't use my Chocobo for attacking, at least with physical attacks. So when leveling your Chocobo, it's gonna have the Psychic Dressphere along with Regal Crown or something that ups the magic stats. Again, you can mess around with this, but this is just my guide to actually completing it. Now the next part of this is important, because if you have on a Minerva plate, you will not gain any XP. So this is why you cannot use this while leveling. So what I do is whenever I'm leveling, I'll have this on and then I'll switch back to Minerva. So to get Regal Crown, oh, that's new. I didn't have that before. Oh, I must have just got that. Huh. Okay, well, ignore that for now. I might add that onto my Chocobo in a minute. Anyways, so Champion Belt, Minerva's Plate, and Rabbit's Foot. These are, and Regal Crown, I believe, as well, can all be gotten from the Chocobo Cup. Chocobo Cup. Again, you should already have the Adamantite. And add on something that boosts your magic. Now the other things is you want your Chocobo to have, besides attack, you want your Chocobo to learn auto haste. How I did that is my Tomberry that I used to use. I had Hastega on him, and he used Hastega a couple of times, and your Chocobo auto learned it. I'm not sure what level your Chocobo has to be to actually learn new skills, but mine was above 40. I do know that. The next part is Meteor, which the same process, except you'll be fighting Elephant Eater. In the battle simulator, and you just fight him a couple of times, and he will use Meteor when he dies, unless your Chocobo's crazy like mine was and zapped him away with telekinesis. But just fight him a couple of times, eventually your Chocobo will learn it. That's how you get some of these items. So, and then magic side and Cura are all things I put on there, as well as First Strike. So don't worry about the stats at the top, just worry about getting everything to look like this. So again, Abominable, Sidekick, Adamantite, and something that increases your magic. That's what you have to have. And then Black Python. Oh, Crystal Bangle, I don't know if I talked about this as well. This is done by fighting the Machina Panzer thingy, which again you'll see in the tournament or you play in the battle simulator. This increases your HP by 100%. Oh, hold on. I hate when I'm doing something and a random thing just pops up. Okay, so as I was saying here, this is what your setup should look like for Black Python. Now, the reason I did this one is because this little fun little thing over here, I don't think you can see my cursor, but I'm just gonna say over here under the attack, you have full auto, which does, I think, is similar to Yuna's Trigger Happy, which means you can do a lot of damage. You can do a lot of damage quickly. So these are what I recommend to have on there is Attack and Darkness. Darkness is something that, of course, is a must for attacks. Now, you can get an item in the Chocobo Cup. I forget which one it is, but one of those ones you can get to actually add Darkness onto one of your auto abilities, but I find it very unnecessary because you can put on Mascot, but it doesn't really, and Mascot does help, but it doesn't help to a point where it's worth me grinding for Darkness, so I'm just keeping Darkness on there. But if you wanted to, you could get that item, add that on, and then go into but you'd also take away your death proof. But your XP would be a little higher. You get a little stat bonuses here, but I like using it for what it's worth. Next, Strength Up, which is already, well, actually I do think I added Strength Up to here. Again, I added that on. That's also an optional thing to put on there. That one's not necessary. As well as Kiriga. I put Kiriga on here because I wanted each little item here to have some type of curing option, because it definitely does help for not having to have Chocobo cure everybody all the time. And then full autos are already on Flick, Python, as well as Elemental Defense. I'm not sure if any other creatures have that ability, but let me tell you that this guy is a beast. That's all I have to say about that. And then last, Machina Hunter. Now, this can be traded out for something else. Like, I was using Tonberry before, so this is what I had set up for Tonberry originally. You can use that. But I'm using him specifically because he has the little attack there called Impale, which also works like Darkness, where it ignores stats and hits. So this is another one that I added on White Wind, because in addition to being a heavy hitter when he does hit, I also have him help with the healing on the team. So, champion belts, again, Chocobo Cup for all of these items here. Crystal Bangle, again, Crystal Bangle, Machina Panzer, or whatever it's called, is how you get these. So, you should be able to have a couple of those already. If you don't, just farm for them. It doesn't take that long. Anyway, so I would just keep leveling until you enter any tournaments, but just keep leveling until you get to a spot where you're comfortable. Just let me give you a little example of what your team should look like now. And I forgot, when you go into these, make sure that you put back on Minerva's plate, because I forgot to do that. And you're not going to have flare, and your magic's not going to be as strong, so hopefully we'll be okay. Okay. I'm not sure if we'll beat this one because I forgot to switch out my little thingamabobber here, but the first thing they're gonna do is start out by casting that. Which we shouldn't have any issues there. I don't remember if I put back, I don't think I put back on Minerva's plate. Today's friends aren't there? Oh, yeah, they didn't make it. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, this can be either really easy or they can obliterate you. So let's see what they're going to do today. First things first, they're going to all cast Mighty Guard on each other. So if you can hit them before they cast that, that'd be great too. And that's all you need. See, piece of cake. And we got a rabbit's foot, which rabbit's foot brings up your luck. Actually, can I just want to check something here really quickly. Items. Accessories. So I don't think, sometimes different things can learn. Let me see if you can actually use that, or if that's some items. Oh, I don't want to do that either. It doesn't look like we can actually unfortunately, yeah, this isn't really anything that's going to help us. You see, Minerva's plate gives us a hefty increase in magic as well as our MP. We'll go ahead and put that back on. Anyways, so Chocobo, Black Python, and Machina Hunter. With these three, I guarantee that you will be able to win not only the Chocobo Cup numerous times, because you're going to need those items in order to even stand a chance in the Youth League Cup. Now, once you beat the Youth League Cup one time, it's going to add on new people. Kamari, Lulu. I'm not sure if anybody else was added in there, but those two will be in there. Kamari, I was able to beat him just fine, but Lulu completely obliterated me. So you definitely need high defenses. Now, a little about the Youth League Cup. I have not found a way to beat Lucille or Nuge. So the only way I was able to actually win in the tournament is to have a playthrough where I don't have to fight either of them. And that's something that is actually not that rare. It didn't take me that long at all. So my advice is just to keep trying until you get a combination that doesn't obliterate you. And just make sure that you work on getting your stats up. And getting the creatures that I told you to do. The Shell Shocker. We go through here. Just want to conclude here. Shell Shocker for Grand Cup hard, and then your Chocobo, Black Python, and Machina Hunter for the Youth League and Chocobo Cups. Shell Shocker is not fast; he's very slow. So if you put him in the Youth League, he will get obliterated. He will either get obliterated or he will get paired up with someone who can heal just as much as they do, and that battle will just never end. There's been a couple of times where I tried that and the battle just kept going. I had to physically turn on in my game because there's just no way of beating it. Shell Shocker is good for something that probably has a lot of life and hits hard. Like maybe some battles coming up you can try it, but this is the setup it needs to have, and at least, again, level 30-ish or higher I recommend. And you shouldn't have any issues. And again, if you follow this guide, it'll bring you up to this point. Now, as you see, there are obviously other things that I have not opened yet, but that's because I have not. You can't do Capture Cup until Chapter 5, which means we're not going to be able to do these other cups until later time. So if I have a guide for those, I might put them up. But as far as the Youth League tournament now, Kamari, like I said, I was able to beat Kamari, but Lulu spellcast, I think it's like six spells at once, so she'll do fire, and it'll be fire on all of your party members. So if you have something that can counteract that, you might have a chance. But other than that, if you get Nuge or Lucille, I was not able to defeat them. Lucille you might be able to defeat, but I have not found a way. So again, this is just really just a beginner's guide to get you up to this point where once you finish the Youth League tournament or able to beat it, you will receive the Mascot Dressphere. Which I will show you now. So here's Riku's Dressphere. This is what you get with that. You use Berserker skills tied with my magic. So all of this you have to unlock. Then you go through here. Go to Pain. Pain has Bushido and Black Magic. And finally, Yuna, which has warrior skills and dark knight skills. Now, and of course other skills, but those are some of the main abilities. Now, the other thing to now, I do have them in the Abominable Dressphere, but that doesn't necessarily completely have ribbon. So that's the biggest difference here, is I have this on them, gives them automatically gives them ribbon. But let me say one more thing, the Abominable Garment Grip is a must, which you should already have it. You could try other ones, but this is a must because you're gonna need, it comes with auto wall. You're gonna have that ribbon. I just can't imagine what the Dressphere you would use. So that's my little guide for beginner's guides to the creature creator. Thank you for watching. If you found this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, or if you have any other questions, put them in the comments and I might just answer them for you. I do appreciate you taking the time alone to watch this if you were curious, and I'm not sure if I'll have an update for the other tournaments, but I really enjoy this, and I think this is a great feature to have. So thank you for watching this video. Please watch my full playthrough located at MuzzyGirl89. Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for watching.